Hello, Southlake. This is Shawn McCaskill, the mayor of the city of Southlake. And for this week's Southlake City Spotlight, we're at First Financial Bank here at the corner of Southlake Boulevard and Whitechapel as we celebrate 40 years of banking here in Southlake. Today I'm joined by the president of the Southlake branch, Shelby Bruhn, and also Wayne Lee, who was one of the founders of the bank back in 1985. Guys, thank you for joining us for Southlake City Spotlight.
Absolutely.
Thank you for asking us.
So Shelby, let's start with you and let's kind of go over the starting point of the bank here in Southlake, the history of it. What can you tell us about First Financial Bank here in Southlake?
Absolutely, Mayor. It started 40 years ago in a single wide trailer, if you can imagine that. And it started with a vision with Mr. Lee and a few other guys in the community. And so with that vision, it also started with having the right people in leadership. Mr. Lee, along with his fellow board members, founded the bank. And from that point, we've been able to grow and succeed similar to the city of Southlake.
Well, Wayne, let's take it from there. You were one of the founders, as Shelby mentioned. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the goal of the bank? It was the first bank in Southlake. Humble beginnings in a single wide trailer, not even a double wide, a single wide. Why don't you take us back to getting the idea to start the bank and kind of what your goals were to bring this bank here to Southlake?
Thank you for that question. It's basically a rural setting. Our population was about 2,000. Originally, we thought the name was going to be Southlake National, but when we actually organized, we named it Texas National Bank of Southlake. And then, as I mentioned before, we merged it with First Financial Bank about 25 years ago now. We soon outgrew that single wide and built a nice building down there at that corner. We stayed in that building for about 15 years and then built this facility about 22 years ago, I believe. Now, our goal was first of all to serve this community, but we wanted excellence. We decided early on that one of the first things we wanted to be sure our employees did was we wanted to be the friendliest bank anywhere in the area. Our goal was met years ago. First of all, to establish the bank. Number two, to be the best. In fact, in Forbes magazine just this month named us the #3 bank in America,
right,
of all banks.
Absolutely. I think one of the things that we focus on here at First Financial is customer service. That's our primary foundational component. Is we want to serve the people of our community.
As a member of the community in a leadership role, we appreciate everything the bank does for Southlake and helping businesses get started and thriving, like you said, and also families with their loans and personal banking. So it's done great, and it served its purpose. Congratulations on 40 years of great banking here in Southlake. We're proud to have First Financial Bank as the first and historically significant bank here in Southlake. So let's do another 40 years. How about
All right.
that?
Let's
Thank
do
you,
it.
Wayne.
Okay.
Thank you, Shelby.
Thank you, Mayor.
And that's it for this week's Southlake City Spotlight. We'll see you next time.